presto, you're dead.
Let's talk Assassin's Creed Shadows. Welcome back, everybody, to Hot Chips. This is the Hot Chips hot take on my initial impressions for Assassin's Creed Shadows. Okay, so I am going to do my best to make this a shorter one as I'm a bit pressed for time today, but I just wanted to talk about my initial impressions with the game. I'm currently sitting at 25 hours played with a 40% completion. I have been playing this on the PS5 Pro on an LG B4 OLED screen. First thing I'll say is the game is absolutely gorgeous. And, you know, the better your hardware, the better this game looks. I've seen footage of this game running on a 5090, and it is just probably the best fucking thing I've ever seen. But it looks great, plays really good. The solid frame rate feels really nice. The game is... It's pretty good. It's not the best thing I've ever played. It's not the best Assassin's Creed I've ever played. I'll just be honest and upfront with you about that now. However, I've still got a lot of game to go. I'm a huge Odyssey guy, you know, but I've played and beat Origins, Odyssey, Valhalla. I thought Mirage was hot garbage. The parkour in that game was just too aggravating for me to attempt to really get my teeth into that one, so I didn't finish that one. But Shadows is pretty good. Now, when you're starting off, it's a little tough. I was getting three-pieced. Like, by no means was I able just to parry my way out of 10 to 15 enemies at a time with Now Way. The first 20 hours I spent on the game was with Now Way. Me, personally, I did not unlock Yasuke until about my 20th hour. Now, the last 3 to 4 hours I've played the game have been played with Yasuke, and I've really enjoyed my time with him. I love Now Way. I love the stealth, the Tenchu stuff. I love running around doing the assassinations. Feels great. I like all the different finishers. There seems to be like 3 to 5 finishers with each weapon type. So I thought there could be a few more. Like, I've probably seen the same finishers more times than I'd care to discuss, but it doesn't take away from the experience at all for me. If I had to rate this Assassin's Creed amongst the other ones that have come over the last 10 years, I would probably give this a solid 7.5 out of 10. Not bad by any stretch. Very, very good, very enjoyable, but not the best Assassin's Creed experience I've personally had at the same time. However, keep in mind, I've still got a lot of game to go, a lot of stuff to unlock. For example, the way the skill system works, it's locked behind tiers, right? So, like, you have to go out and collect what they call knowledge points, and you need like 8 to 10 of these things to unlock the next tier of skills you can use. So, to give you an example, at 25 hours in, I'm still only at tier 2 with my skills. So, there's a lot of cool shit that I haven't been able to do yet or experience yet. So again, this video is just initial impressions. This is not a review. These are not my final thoughts on the game. This is just where I'm at now. I did want to do a review, but I've got a pretty packed schedule between my work schedule, and I've got Verdansk launching back today in Call of Duty, which is huge for me. We've got the PoE 2 League starting tomorrow, which I'm going to be balls deep in. So I've got my plate full, so to speak, as far as what's going to be taking up my time here in the near future. So unfortunately, I will not be finishing Assassin's Creed Shadows anytime soon. So I just wanted to get this video out just to give you guys my general sentiment of the game and where I'm at with it. I've had a blast with it so far. I've had a lot of fun, and I'm sure I will continue to have fun. The landscapes are gorgeous. The world is gorgeous. It's probably the most realistic looking Assassin's Creed game, hands down, up to this point. I mean, the vistas are amazing. The verticality in the mountains and in the forest, they're so dense. Like, sometimes, like, you know, in most Assassin's Creed games, you can just kind of go off the beaten path and get to where you're going quicker. Not in this one. The forestry and the trees and the ground, everything is just it's so dense and it's so tightly packed in there that for the first time in an AC game, you're better off just following the the waypoint system or whatever, and just sticking to the main roads to get where you're going. So I will say that assassinations are top notch. It's really cool. Like, I like being able to like just straight stab somebody through some of the doors without even having to open them first. Super dope. I like how you stick to the shadows, and it helps a lot. Like, and I like how the dynamic weather system, or like the seasons, like in the game, they actually affect gameplay somewhat. For an example, if you're playing as Yasuke, your assassination takedowns are brutal, right? So they make a lot of noise. But let's say it's like thunderstorming and it's raining really hard. Well, that noise from the rain and the thunderstorm will actually drown out some of the noise from your assassination you're doing. Super cool. And the snow, if you've got your difficulty on expert, like, and you're walking around, you can't just like hide from them in the snow like you would be able to do in normal bushes. The enemies will actually see your footprints in the snow and will follow your fucking footprints to come and find where you are. Super, super cool environmental detail. That's a first for an Assassin's game. Bravo on that. In that regard. Graphics are incredible. Again, I've been playing this on a PS5 Pro, 4K 60 FPS upscaled. The game looks phenomenal. Looks even better on a PC. My brother plays it on his 4070 build. It looks even better on there than it does on the PS5 Pro, and it looks damn good on the PS5 Pro. So, graphics top notch, world building, probably one of the best overall worlds they've done. I'm a fan of like the ship combat, the boat stuff from Black Flag, from Odyssey. That is pretty much missing here, but still the design of the world is second to none. It's absolutely amazing. I do like the huge difference between Naoe and Yasuke. Like, it's a difference you can actually feel. It's not like in Syndicate where you had Jacob and Evie and it was, one was stealth, one was, brute combat or whatever, but playing them felt very similar. In this game, it does not. A lot of the stuff that can get aggravating playing with Naoe, getting killed in 2 or 3 hits, not being able to take on too many enemies, at least initially. Once you unlock Yasuke, it's the exact opposite. So I am absolutely loving playing with Yasuke, and I love playing with Naoe, but it was enough of a difference for me to actually feel, going from Naoe to Yasuke, and I'm getting like 6% life returned to me every time I kill somebody. It's like, holy shit, you can take a lot more damage, you can kill a lot more enemies. You can pretty much aggro whoever you want, and if you're halfway decent at the game, you should be alright. However, I'm only about 3 to 4 hours into playing as Yasuke, so again, I've still got a shit ton to unlock. Shit ton of skills to unlock, shit ton of engravings to unlock. That brings me to the hideout system, just to touch on that really quick. It's cool. It's nice to be able to build your hideout, which you've been able to do similar things, in Valhalla and in earlier Assassin's Creed games to bring coin in and whatnot. So it's, it's a little more fleshed out here. I'll give it that. But it's kind of cool. It's kind of nice, man. I've got all the buildings built, but I don't have everything upgraded yet because the materials it requires to upgrade everything to level 3 or however high it goes gets up there once you're past like the second upgrade on your buildings or whatnot. So still got a lot to do there, but it is really cool. Like, I've got a bunch of dogs in, like, you can run around the world, and if you see animals or dogs or whatever and you can manage to get up to them and pet them, it will like automatically unlock them for your hideout. So that's super cool. So I've got a shit ton of dogs just like running around my hideout. I don't know. So that's kind of cool. Let's see the combat. So the combat's alright. It's okay for an Assassin's game. I would say it's probably better than most of the previous installments, or a little more refined, should I say. because the game's tough, or at least initially. Again, the first 20 hours, like Nawe, you take 2 or 3 hits, you're dead. And if the enemies are just slightly over your level by 1 or 2, like if you're a level 14 and the guy's at level 16 and he hits you, nails you one good time, you're gonna lose most of your life. I've only been able to have like 3 rations total, and they fill up about half of my life. So you'll go through those really quick, and then you'll reach a point where you're running around without any rations for a good while. So it's like you'll just be one shot trying to, take out other enemies or get away from them or what. It can get a little annoying at times. But they do litter like ration refills all around the cities in the world and wherever you're at. But for as much of them that are there, I spend just the same amount of time not finding any as I do finding them. So, in my opinion, they need to put more there or give us some sort of like cooldown refresh on a ration, something. But all in all, so far, I've really enjoyed my time with the game. I do plan on finishing the game, at which point we will revisit this and I will give you my review. But right now I've got too much other stuff going on that I've got to jump in and play and make content for. So I just wanted to get the initial impressions out. 7.5 out of 10 for me. That is not a bad score by any stretch of the imagination. I think an 8 is considered great, right? Like fantastic. And that rating could improve. That grade could improve later on in the game. Like I said, I've still got a shit ton of Shadows to play. Right now, I would say if I had to rank it among my enjoyment level between just the Assassin's Creed games, I would still say Odyssey is number 1 for me, but Shadows is coming in at a solid number 2. And again, depending on what happens between now and when I finish the game, that is subject to change. So, all in all, I've enjoyed my experience so far. The world is great. The assassinations are great. The difference you feel between the 2 characters you play are fantastic. I think they absolutely nailed it with that. However, it is a little annoying not being able to unlock fast travel stuff with Yasuke. Like it's, like you put ladders inside these towers, but then there's like no latch at the top for him to open to get up there. So if you didn't know any better, you'd have to go back to your closest fast travel point and then retread all the ground again as Nawe to get up there and unlock it. I do think there's some work to be done there because that's extremely annoying, because it basically forces you in to playing as Nawe if you're going to unlock any fast travel points between where you are and your destination. I don't care for that. They need to figure something out with that. But that's really the biggest gripe I have with the game so far. The portrayal of Oda Nobunaga, it's solid. It's I think they could have went in a different way, but I'm not complaining either. Very cool. As far as some of the controversies surrounding Yasuke. Oh, he wasn't a samurai. He was a slave. Well, check this out. Within like the first 90 seconds of the game starting, he's literally introduced to Oda Nobunaga as a slave by the Portuguese. So I'm not buying the hype on the hate train about who this guy really was or who he really wasn't. He's literally introduced into the game immediately as a slave. So I think people need to play the game for themselves and form their own opinion versus just jumping on the hate train or watching this video or that video and coming up with a conclusion based off what somebody else came up with, because there's also a good chance that person didn't play. So I think it's a great game. Play the game for yourself. Check it out. Thanks for watching the video. If you're new here to Hot Chips, please subscribe to the channel. Hit that like button. Turn the bell on for your notifications. Share the video, comment. I do read every comment and try to interact with them. We are working hard here to build a community at Hot Chips, and I pump out content as much as I can. So we're going to go ahead and end it there before I get into anything any more specific regarding the game. I did want to keep this one a short one. So far, 7.5 out of 10. Loving the game. We'll continue to play it. We will have a review video coming soon, posted at some point when I do get back around to finishing the game. Thanks for stopping by, Hot Chips, everybody. I hope you have a great day.